everyone, it's Lidia's Kiddies here, and today we're going to talk about the game called fishing. I'll show you how to play with it, how to introduce it to your child, and tell you a little bit about what it's good for. So this particular set is by the company called Jacko, which is a French brand, but there are plenty of those available. And I'll link some of the games in the description below. You can pick whichever one you like. They have slightly different types of fish, different things, but the principle is all the same. So what comes in the set? In the set you have usually one or two fishing spins, and you have various shapes of some sea life. So different fish, starfish, there are different shells and all sorts of things. And the idea is pretty simple, right? What you want to do is you want to get one of those and you want to get a kid to catch various shapes. So the point is that it's very good for hand and eye coordination, it's very good for precision, it's very good for developing their attention span as well. And normally what happens is you give something like that to a child, and you know, some of them really start concentrating quite hard and try and catch it. Others basically start doing this, which also happens. What you really want to do in the beginning, if they do not go for sort of a slow pickup motion, which would happen most of the time, you want to control their arm and just make sure instead of this, they understand that the movement should be quite slow and precise. So how do you introduce it to a child? First of all, you don't give it to them straight away. What you want to show to them is that there is a certain action that happens when you move this closer to a shape, right? So this is a seahorse, for example, doesn't really matter, but you take one of them, and that's important. You want to start with just a few. You don't want to immediately overwhelm them with 25 different shapes. No matter how many of them are in the box, you really want to start quite slowly. So what you do is you show it in front of them without talking too much, and you tell them, look, you bring this over, click, and it comes off. Now, an important part of this, apart from just catching it and being quite precise and slow in movement and paying attention to where you bring it to, because also magnet is not just anywhere on the shape, it's on the in certain part where it will catch. What you want them to do, aside from just catching it, you also want them to then pinch it, and this is a very important motion, either this way or this way, doesn't really matter. Pinch it and take it off. So again, you introduce it by taking one of the shapes, you show them that you catch it, and then you take it off. And you carry on doing that, and then you can sort of give it to your child to take off, for example, as a first step, or you can give it to them to start fishing straight away, depending on, you know, whether they're interested or not and how they go. Another thing to pay attention to is that usually kids would have some kind of dominant hand. You know, whether it would be right or left, you'd normally see it by about a year, maybe a little bit later. You'll see that they tend to do most things with one hand, but you really want to encourage both hands to be engaged. So you do this exercise with one hand, and then you take off with the other, and then you swap. And you do a similar exercise, right? Well, actually exactly the same thing with, say, the left hand, if the first hand was right, and you catch with the left and you take off with the right. You catch, maybe I can't do it, catch with the left and you take it off with the right, and so forth. So an important motion here is this, is this firstly precision, and secondly their ability to take it off. So they take it off, they put it back, they fish something else out, they pinch it, and they take it off, and so forth. Now, if you have two of these in the set, which some of them do come with two, Jacko does come with two of them, then you can play with two kids if you have more than one, and you can do some kind of fun exercise where they can get as many of them out as possible, but that's a bit later when it's a little bit more advanced. What you really want to do in the beginning is just precision and taking it off, and again, you want to change hands and want to make sure both hands are developing equally well, even though one of them would of course be dominant, and that's completely normal, as you know. Yes, so like I said, I'll link some of them in the description. This is the Jacko set. that I like. It's got different colored fish, and you can, of course, make it a bit more interesting by calling out the colors, calling out the names of various sea creatures you see here, and so forth. And then you can ask them to pick a specific one rather than pick any of them, and so forth. So you can make it as complex or as easy as you like. But generally, this game is loved by lots of children, boys and girls, especially when they get it. An important thing is just to be patient, and you introduce this game probably it's around 9 months to a year, and some kids would be super happy with it. Others would probably not find it as exciting in the beginning. Don't get discouraged, just put it away and try and introduce it in a couple of weeks' time, and I'm sure they'll love it. So it's just about the timing, it's about the span of time you introduce it for as well. What might seem like a very short period of time for you, like 2-3 minutes, is actually infinity for the baby. So you really want to start with maybe 30 seconds. Just demonstrate the principle, see if they're interested. If they are interested, carry on. If they aren't, put it away, do something different, and then reintroduce it maybe a week later or so. Yes, that's it about fishing, really. Great game, very much loved by children. I'll link out some of the examples below so you can pick from those, or you can find anything else you like online as well. And this is the Jacko set. Like I said, really good quality stuff, and I do like their games a lot. Thank you very much, and I'll see you soon.